Hello and warm welcome to the NPTEL online teaching platform. I am Professor Shamshul Hayat representing the Department of Botany at Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. As we embark on a new week of learning, our focus will be on the exciting new unit centered around gardens. My teaching assistant for this lecture is Samin Zaidi, a dedicated PhD scholar from my laboratory. Together, we look forward to delivering into the fascinating world of garden and exploring the diverse aspect of this platform. Today's lecture is all about gardens, what they are, why they matter, their history, and the different styles of garden worldwide. Before we dive in, let's talk about what a garden is and how people might define it in various ways. We have all experienced the joy of being in a garden, and as botanists, it is important to start by understanding what garden mean to different people. Let's kick off our discussion by exploring the basis, or you can say the basics of the garden. The American Heritage College Dictionary defines garden as follows: a plot of land for the cultivation of flowers, vegetables, herbs, or fruits. This definition leaves out many of the different types of the garden. Later, Mara Miller, in her book The Garden as an Art, defined it as a garden is any purposeful arrangement of natural objects such as sand, water, plants, rocks, etc., with exposure to the sky or open air, in which the form is not fully accounted for by purely practical considerations such as convenience. In simple words, a garden is a ground made of constructed and natural elements. Although even the most natural gardens are inherent, natural gardens are inherently artificial creation. Garden can be large or small, unbounded or enclosed, terraced or flat, natural or geometric, with flowers or without. They can contain blossom trees, lawns and shrubs, lakes, canals, streams and fountains, statues, rocks, paths and benches, follies, grottos, ruins and temples. Historically, the gardens have been categorized into 5 primary sections. These include a central ornamental area, spaces for seating and pathways, a designated play area for children, a plot for growing vegetables, and finally, zones featuring eye-catching details. Let's now explore the advantages of garden. Beyond their diverse appearances, gardens serve various purposes. They produce a they produce a range of items including fruits, vegetables, flowers, and herbs. These in turn contribute to the creation of a wide array of products such as brandy, opium, perfume, shampoo, textiles, herbal teas, and dyes. Gardens offer a multitude of benefits beyond their diverse produce. Gardens provide recreational spaces for providing a serene and enjoyable environment and spaces for relaxation, contemplation, and leisure activities. They have impact on environmental as they promote biodiversity, provide habitats for various plants and animals, and enhances overall ecological balance. Engaging with gardens has been shown to have therapeutic effects also, reduces stress, anxiety, and promote mental well-being. Gardens also provide educational opportunities. Gardens serve as outdoor classroom, offering opportunities for learning about botany, ecology, and sustainable agriculture. Moreover, beyond their practical uses, gardens add aesthetic beauty to landscapes, enhancing the visual appeal of surroundings. Community building gardens often become focal points for community activities, bringing people together for events, celebration, and communal gardening projects. Garden also contribute in climate regulations. Trees and plants in gardens play a role in climate regulation by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, contributing to a healthier atmosphere. Gardens also serve as a cultural significance. Many gardens hold cultural and historical value, representing a specific gardening styles, tradition, and designs, principles passed down through generation. So, from all these listed benefits of gardens, we can conclude that gardens offer a rich tapestry of benefits ranging from practical produce to emotional, environmental, and cultural contribution to society. Gardens have played a significant role in human history, serving various purposes such as aesthetics, food production, relaxation, and symbolism. Now let's talk about the history of garden. The history of garden is a rich and diverse tapestry that spans cultures, civilization, and centuries. Gardens have been dynamic reflections of cultural, social, and artistic values evolving into the enhan- evolving into the enchanting spaces we appreciate today. In the given image, you can see that how present or modern day gardens have evolved from ancient gardens. Just like that ancient garden, classical garden, Roman garden, Islamic garden, medieval garden, then you have 18th and 9th century garden and the 20th century present gardens. The history of gardens is a fascinating journey that spans various cultures and epochs. Ancient gardens have roots in ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia and Egypt, where they were cultivated for both practical and aesthetic purposes. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, exemplify the grandeur of ancient gardening. After ancient gardens comes classical gardens, which include Persian gardens of 6th century BC. They showcase geometric layouts, water channels, and trees, influencing later Islamic gardens. Classical gardens also includes ancient Greek gardens of 5th to 4th century. They were linked to public spaces and private residences with a distinct emphasis on symmetry and orders. After classical gardens comes the Roman gardens. Romans seamlessly incorporated gardens into their villas, transforming them into leisure spaces adorned with sculptures, fountains, and meticulously shaped topiary. Next comes Islamic garden. Islamic gardens are known for their geometric designs and emphasis on water features, became prominent during the Islamic Golden Age. The Alhambra in Spain showcases the intricate beauty of Islamic garden design. Next comes medieval gardens. During the medieval period from 5th to 15th century, monastic garden in Europe served a functional purpose by providing herbs and medicinal plants. Next is Renaissance garden. During the Renaissance, from the 14th to 17th century, there was a renewed interest in classical beauty, especially reflected in gardens. Italian Renaissance gardens like Villa di Este stood out with their formal designs, terraced layouts, and impressive fountains. These gardens symbolized a blend of artistic elegance and innovative gardening during that time. Moving ahead from the 5th and 15th century, Baroque and Rococo gardens come into existence. Baroque gardens were influenced by both French and Italian styles and were distinguished by their grandeur, symmetry, and abundant water feature, such as seen in the iconic design of Versailles. Subsequently, in the late 17th century, Rococo gardens emerged featuring playful and asymmetrical designs. From the 14th to 17th century, English landscape gardens, guided by designers like Capability Brown, moved away from formal styles to embrace more natural and picture more natural and picturesque landscape. This shift had a big impact on how gardens were designed in both Europe and America. Later in the 20th century, modern garden design became diverse, encompassing styles ranging from minimalist and functional to elaborate and artistic, with a strong emphasis on incorporating sustainable and ecological principles. Moving ahead, gardens come in various styles. Basically, three styles are common, that includes traditional format, informal or cottage gardens, and wild gardens. Whatever the style of garden, each reflect unique aesthetic preferences and design principles. Talking about the formal style of garden, it can be said that the formal style of garden is organized with the symmetry and geometric patterns. It features straight lines, neat shapes, and well trimmed hedges, often repeating square and rectangular forms in the design. Achieving balance is key, with mirrored objects on either side of a central axis. For instance, if there is a plant on the left side of a path, a matching plant is placed on the right. Creating a balanced look. Formal gardens are commonly found in public parks, universities, libraries, and government buildings. Now look at the images. As shown, it is evident that four types of formal gardens exist worldwide. Examples include the Mughal style, seen in the places like Nishad Bagh in Srinagar, the Persian style, exemplified by Iram Garden in Iran, the Italian style, showcased at Baboli Garden in Italy, and the French style, illustrated by the gardens of Versailles, illustrated by gardens of Versailles in France. Next is our formal style gardens. that embrace curves, non-symmetrical layouts, and allow plants to grow freely, creating a natural appearance that hides the framework. Designing them is a challenge due to the focus on irregularity and natural looking planting. Informal gardens often feature diagonal or curved paths with native mixed hedging as boundaries, while tall shrubs and trees add a vertical dimension, concealing the edges of the plot. Two types of informal style gardens are present. One is English style, another is Japanese style. As you can see in the image, Sissinghurst Castle Garden in England represents English style, while Gibbs Garden in Georgia showing colorful maple trees representing Japanese style. This slide shows our last type, that is wild style garden. It is introduced by William Robinson in the late 19th century. The wild garden style focuses on naturalizing plants in shrubberies. In this approach, the grass is left untouched to imitate natural scene, and a scattering of bulbous plants add to the wild scenery effect. Passages should be created in woodland where trees, shrubs, and bulbs could be planted alongside existing forest flora to realize the concept of a wild garden. The growth of creepers on trees is encouraged to naturally emulate the appearance of forest settings. Gardens with wild style are also divided into four types, as you can see in the images. In first image, Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival in Florida is representing Butterfly Garden. In second image, Tresco Abbey Garden in United Kingdom is an example of bird garden. In the third image, High Line in New York City is one of the examples of biodiversity park, and last image is of Astral Garden, which is also known by the name of Nakshatra Udyan. The image is showing one of the Nakshatra Garden located at Silvassa in India. So today in this lecture, we have explored the rich history and diverse styles of gardens, from formal and informal to wild and everything in between. Join me in the next session as we delve deeper into the fascinating world of different garden types. In our upcoming video, we will delve into the details of various types of garden. Thank you.